It looks like in a few years we are going to spend the weekends on a ride around the planet in one of Elon Musk's starships instead of going to Disneyland. This guy has an amazing ability to think outside the box, to break societal expectations. You can't even say the sky is the limit with him. Now he wants to populate Mars. I'm not sure why he doesn't start with the moon, but I think it's a good idea. We should send all our convicts there and make a new Australia. My senior pastor is Australian, and we recently celebrated 21 years since they started the first church in America. He said the culture in Australia is a crab culture. If you put a crab in a bucket, you must put a lid on it or it will crawl out. If you put two crabs in there's no need for a lid. If one tries to get out, the other will pull it back. Hey mate, where do you think you're going? Get back down here with the rest of us. That's the Aussie convict culture. I do believe it has a good side. The societal bond is very strong. They're tied together. But the bad part is you don't have many people like Musk who would buy Twitter to preserve the freedom of speech. America is the only place where you can still climb out of the bucket if you make it alive. In America, people will step all over each other to climb out, bite each other's heads off. Better than being boiled to death together, though. We're all born to accomplish an appointed task. Appointed. You were not selected for it because of your qualities. You were given qualities specifically to accomplish a certain task. We were all born for such a time as this, like Esther. God placed you in a specific family, knowing what was running through that bloodline in a specific place and time, and He expects you to climb out of the bucket and do what He called you to do, in spite of societal expectations and family demands. Jesus was healing and preaching in Mark 3, and the crowds wouldn't even let Him eat. He told His disciples, go tie a boat by the lake as a way of escape. His family came thinking He's out of his mind. The crowds will crush Him, and He said, my mother and brothers are those who do the will of God. Spiritual bonds take precedence over family ties. When God first called Abraham, He said, leave your country, your relatives, and your father's family. Instead, He took his nephew Lot along. Maybe because Sarah was barren, He was thinking Lot will be his heir. But when God gives you a command, He's got His reasons. Don't argue with Him. You must be able to leave your baggage behind, people who are more of a burden than a blessing, even if they're family. Leave your fears behind, your past failures. You're not a failure just because you failed sometimes. You're a failure if you fold. Keep your eyes on the goal. We've got a world to reach for the gospel. We must fight both the enemies outside and within, like Moses with Pharaoh and the rebels like Korah. We all have a reflecting pool where Washington and Lincoln meet. Although they should take down that ugly obelisk and build Washington a real statue, him sitting on his horse with a Bible and a big sword. They said it's a sunbeam. Obelisks in Egypt are used to worship the sun god Ra, so far from Washington's Christ-centered faith. One day they should make a statue of Trump right in the middle of that pool, a statue of him standing with his fist up, fight, fight, fight. The three of them are the pillars of this country. But we all have a reward in heaven if we don't quit. We'll see our reflections in the sea of glass before the throne of God and say, yay, we did it, Lord, we won this generation.